Hey, everybody. Chat's going nuts already.
Oh wait, I'm muted. There we go. Hi.
Oh. There he is. He's hiding already.
He's out. He's out. He left. Oh, man. What is going on, everybody? What did we lose him?
He's just hiding.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, we got a room full of people who are stoked to see you, my friend.
Yes, they are. It's going to be a good night, my friends.
See the lemon turtles.
Lemon turtles. Who's here? We got Johnny Nowell's a pirate.
Yeah.
Here. Ash is here. Hrothgar's here. Minowee is here. Our French Matt buddy. Mr. and Mrs. Von JJs are here. The Brothers of Tamriel podcast is here. Ash, Half Day Layway's here.
Half a day. Good to see you, dear.
Yeah.
I believe the barmaid's here too.
Tons.
She's here somewhere. Where's she?
Oh my! And
sorry, I couldn't quite hear you.
Apparently, something I said just.
Apparently, your iPhone's here now too. Oh, goodness gracious! All right, well, chat for everyone who is here. Before we get started, if this is your first time, I know we've got a lot of brand new listeners who are here right now. First off, if you don't know what Loreseekers is, who we are, we're a podcast. We talk Elder Scrolls Online. We put out a new episode every Friday. What you're watching right now is the live version of this show, where you're going to be able to hear everything and kind of interact with us here in chat. And it's going to be a good time, because we have the lore. Where are you on this? Yeah, you're on this side. Loremaster Leamon with us on Loreseekers.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, boy. So it's going to be good.
Welcome, Leamon. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. We're just welcoming everybody to the stream right now. In just a couple of minutes, we are going to turn the volume down just a little bit, come right back up, and that will be the start of the show. So when the show does start, we are watching chat for the interesting things, but a lot of times when we are recording the show, we don't normally interact a whole lot with chat, because this is going to come out as a podcast episode at the end of the week. So we try and keep the audio as good as we can for that, and try and keep to our show notes.
Yep.
That's what we do.
There you go.
One thing I want to address just real quick.
Yep.
This is the Loremaster. He knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. And it's a very, very special and sacred time right now when they have content that is going to be coming out. Therefore, we were not able to take questions from we can't take questions from chat or take questions from the audience, because the questions that we ask needed to be reviewed before we could do them. So sorry about that in advance, but we have some certain things that we are allowed to ask and certain things we can't.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine with it.
From the back of the room.
Questions are good. They're fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Loreseekers Live. Let me make sure I'm recording. Now I'm recording. All right, here we go.
Oh, hey, wait. Before we do that, do you want me recording separately this time or no?
Nope. I just need you to sit back and relax, my friend.
Oh, this is going to be freaking cake.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, everybody, welcome. This is Loreseekers Live.
Last week on Loreseekers. Sometimes it makes me happy when, actually, all the time it makes me happy when Rich is in chat, but particularly when people start asking for things and we agree. Yeah. And like, I look at chat, like, absolutely we should have a companion app. Looks at chat. So we're going to do something a little bit different this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to answer some of the requests that we've been getting from listeners for lore lessons on some of the lesser known stuff.
I think this is one of the best times to do these dungeons, is Dungeon Release Day, because that's when the ESO fam really kind of shows up and shows off. They people getting together, doing these dungeons, and they're figuring things out. From the depths of the darkest caverns to the peaks of the highest mountaintops. Join two friends as they explore Tamriel and share their tales one pint at a time. This is the Loreseekers podcast. Oh man,
Oh.
we've been traveling.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh,
I got a foot on my blister.
you got a what?
I got a foot on my blister.
Is that a thing? Do people do that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh, I don't even know, man. It's just hey everybody. Oh,
We're not worth.
Oh, that's solid.
did you do this?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Is
that Leamon
that
Tuttle?
Leamon Tuttle?
Is that? I think that's Leamon Tuttle.
Hey,
It's
what's up?
Leamon. Hey!
Hey, what's shaking?
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Oh, hey, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. It's good to see you guys.
Oh,
Good to see you too. And it's been a long time coming. We are absolutely 100% fanboying out on the inside, but not trying to show it on the outside.
You're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, how's it going, man? How you doing?
Good, good. Yeah, I was just kicking my kids out of the basement. This is my basement, by the way, in case anyone's interested. Yeah, Artemis was like, "Yeah, show us all your cool stuff." I got a boat. I got a little boat there. That's my dwarven colossus up there. I got some. Yeah, that's about it.
Got a nice degree over there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Drums over there. That's a solid white door right there. That's a nice door. I mean, that is working. Oh, well, Leamon, we're so excited to have you here with us today, man. Thanks so much for coming out.
For sure, man. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dingus, what have you been doing this week?
Oh, that must be my cue to talk.
Well, I wouldn't talk to him like that. I have respect for him.
I'm the dingus.
I'm a bit of a dingus. It's fine.
Should we order some drinks first, my friend?
Oh, well, I don't know. Let me see if I can get her over here. Barbie! Oh, here she comes.
Good to see you, boys. What can I get you?
Oh, what are you gonna get? What's your thing?
You go first.
I don't want to go first because you wrote a list.
Yeah,
You're good.
No, yeah, I've got some excellent artisanal people of the root beer.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
very
all right.
Argonian, sir.
Pun for you. There you
That
go.
is very Argonian.
See what you did there. See what
I
you
did.
did.
Ma'am, I'm going to
sorry.
have a
Sorry.
little moth lager, please.
And ma'am, I don't know what this is, but he wrote it out for me. He said it'd be really good. I believe it's hist milk.
Only if it's from the teat.
What teat? What do you mean teat?
Oh man,
Oh,
get him
don't worry
started.
about
Oh,
it.
no.
Don't worry about it. All right, cool.
Don't worry about it.
Coming right
all
up.
right.
Wow, they have his milk.
I
Didn't even say they didn't have it.
what is it?
It's freaking milk from the history. We've had this conversation before.
Oh yeah. Just the tree. All right, cool. Yeah, all right, good.
So you should be hallucinating by about halfway through the show.
Oh, fantastic. That makes me feel so much better. Oh, all right, gentlemen. Well, are you guys ready? You just want to jump right in?
We can jump right in, or I can tell you what I've been doing all week.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to hear what Leamon's been doing all week too. So
Okay, well, you go ahead.
Working. We're doing some work on Greymoor. Trying to get everything ready to record all of the actors and stuff. So yeah, it's been a busy time at the office for sure.
Busy.
But good stuff, man. It's all coming together. It's really exciting.
Is that has to be your favorite part too, right? To just when it all kind of comes together like that.
It's yeah. This part is okay. What's really cool is when recording is over and the lines that we wrote come back, and you have these like incredibly talented actors who like took what we did and turned it into something like way cooler than it was when we first wrote it.
Right.
And so that's coming soon. So I'm excited about that for sure.
Awesome.
I think the thing that's important to say here as we even start this thing is it's for us, it's hard to realize that one of the major people in this world that writes this game that we love is right here in this room. It's absolutely nuts. Like, how was your week at work? Oh, it was perfect. I'm making your game. Literally at my desk. It's awesome.
That's
well,
fun.
it's exciting. It's cool, man. It's like this is why we do it, right? Is so we can send it out and people like you guys can enjoy it. So it's exciting, man. It's been really cool.
Absolutely. That's cool. Cash, what you been doing?
I have had a week of min-maxing, believe it or not. I've been on Magical Warden all week long, pretty much. Really pretty happy to not be completely enthralled in Cyrodiil and kind of get back to a little PvE. But we have some new stuff in Loreseekers coming up. At least our PCNA guild, we're like jumping right back into trials, and then we're working on some vet trial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of crunching numbers and testing gear and all that kind of stuff has been going on this past week for me. So it's kind of been nose to the grindstone a little bit, but it's, you know, it's fun stuff.
It's
How about
awesome.
you?
Busy. I spent most of my week in North Carolina. For all our listeners out there, I was in your neck of the woods on a business trip. Got back and I got to log in for about 4 hours yesterday when you and I were hanging out. So that's it's about the equivalent of my week. And then today, here we are. We're doing a show. So
that's right.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to lie. Like when I woke up this morning, this was like going to be my whole day, just making sure everything was right. And turns out as soon as I woke up and like the first thing I did was texted Jibs, and he texted me back and just said, "Get in Discord, dumbass." So from early this morning, pretty much, we've just been talking about just trying to make sure everything's right and stuff, because this is a big deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been, Leamon, we've been trying to get you. I'm sorry. If I say Leamon, just I hope I have a little bit of grace.
It does not matter.
Okay, all right.
Like when you grow up with a name like Leamon Tuttle, it doesn't, like, after a while it just all rolls off. You know, it's
good to know.
It's like whatever.
So
Leamon Turtle, yes, that's me. I'm Leamon Turtle.
Oh well, man, we've been trying and just getting our schedules to sync up for about, I think, the total of going on a year.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been super busy. We have not been nearly as busy as you. Let me just be clear. Like we're not even in the same ballpark as busy as you are.
I don't know. It seems like you guys are working hard, man. You got the stream going on. It's awesome.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that. But
but this is our free time, Leamon.
We don't write. We're not writing a world, We're not really.
Right.
We're not that extended. But anyway, so thanks so much again, for just taking some time hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure, man. It's great to be here for sure.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to take you along with us on the ride. And by the way, to everyone who's listening, Leamon has decided he's going to take the plunge and hang out with Cash and Jibs the whole episode. So you guys just get to sit back and get a whole lot of the Loremaster, which is going to be a good time. But to everyone who is here, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the Loreseekers podcast, volume 6, number 10. Wow, Cash, we're in double digits now. Again, 6 volumes. I feel old. I feel like
old.
We are old.
We're at that crucial point where a show gets either canceled or renewed for one more final season.
And we ain't going anywhere, people. So there's that.
I feel like the Game of Thrones. All right. So there's that. Anyway, so welcome everyone. We're your hosts. I am Jibs, joined by Cash.
Yep. We're here. We're stoked. I'm a little off kilter.
Admittedly. Yeah, it's understandable. And by the way,
no, but I was saying, I have all this excitement on the inside that I'm trying to
all kinds of stuff going on right now
at bay. But this is going to be a good show. I think getting through all of our stuff, and especially our questions, I think that a lot of these are fun, and we actually have some really fun mail this week.
Yeah. Leamon's going to jump in on a little bit of mail. We didn't tell you that, Leamon, but we're just going to get you jumping.
I'm here, man. You got me for a few hours. Whatever happens.
All right. So anyway, again, Leamon, thanks so much for hanging out with this man.
Yep, no problem, man.
Right on. Well, everybody, if you tuned in last week, we answered your fan mail, talked about the Crown Store Showcase, and did a deep dive on Ice Reach. Well, this week, my friends, we got fan mail, ESO Live, Murkmire Celebration Event, which I hear may be Leamon's favorite. I can't confirm.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might. I don't know. It's close. Clockwork gives it a run for its money, but it's Argonians, man. That's tough to. They're my favorite.
Oh, all right.
We love all of our children equally, but
we won't tell you how we talk about Argonians most of the time. time.
How do you
bring
feel?
that up on
Oh man! So you can look forward to that, folks. Also, we're talking performance improvements, free pets, Leamon. Gosh, I'm gonna do that all. I'm so sorry, Leamon.
Wow.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
We're gonna talk the whole like 100 yards of interview we got later, and then we're doing a lore lesson on something that's very special, and it's all for Leamon. So you all have to tune into that in a little bit.
I
ominous.
don't know what it might be themed about.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's kind of scary
was an
sometimes
Argonian.
how incredibly accurate you sound as an Argonian. Oh gosh, that's good stuff. All right, well, you know, let's see. Mail carrier! Oh, here he comes.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Why are you wearing heels? I didn't know Dumber wore heels. And he left. All right. Well, anyway, for everyone who's tuning in, it's that time. You send us your questions and we answer them live on the show. And we're just going to kind of jump right in. This is going to kind of be a little bit different of a flow of an episode with everyone who's tuning in. It's exciting times over here at Loreseekers for obvious reasons. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Mocha Jones 10. And I'm just going to go straight to Leamon with the answer for this. He says...
Okay.
We're just throwing him to the wolves.
Right
on,
into the
Ready?
fire.
You ready for that initiation? Here we go.
I'm getting ready.
All right. It says, I finally finished all the lore lessons, and I'm currently with the current with the episodes. All right, he's referencing Loreseekers. I have two questions. Being a new player, first deals with the favored topic of Dragon Breaks. Well, you're
Dear
in for a
God.
treat, Mocha. You're gonna get an answer from Leamon. From the did you see that face? From the explanation of it, it sounds like during a Dragon Break, everyone experiences something different. Cough, mechanic cough. Even though it seems difficult to explain, I see it like a game of telephone, where a message can get misconstrued depending on who hears it. At the end of the telephone game, the intended message is revealed, but the other players still think they heard what they heard. Kind of a fun thing to think about. Leamon, is there any truth to this?
I think he's selling Dragon Breaks a little short.
Really?
Dragon Breaks are basically the complete dissolution and breakdown of linear time. Like, it's not a great time. Well, it's not any time. It's a mishmash of, you know, you could wake up your own grandmother and like it's bonkers.
Oh, that's gnarly.
You don't want to live through a Dragon Break. Nobody's playing a game of telephone. They're all like losing track of where they are. And we have the Augur of the Obscure talks about it for a second, where he's like, you know, imagine you're being born right after you died or whatever. Isn't that wild?
Yes, yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a Dragon Break. It's bad news.
Bad juju.
Bad juju.
Is that hard?
Yeah,
I mean, Cash, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's basic. Like, I kind of see what he's getting at, but it's really, you really have to talk about how time is not a factor in, and which Leamon made mention of, but time is really not a factor. And there's several different parallels taking place at the same time. So where one person may believe that his life is just going along and he's having all these experiences, somebody else could be going through the same exact trial or experiences, and it could be a completely different outcome when time finally all comes back together. And, you know, there's not all those parallels anymore. And that's why freaking Dragon Breaks make me want to punch myself in the face repeatedly.
Yeah, it's wacky. You don't want to get on the outs with Akatosh. That's basically the long story short.
Akatosh being the dragon god of time, who is in control of it all.
There you go. All right. Well, there's the first part, and then the second part. And by the way, we're just doing Mocha today. Mocha, you got the floor, man. So this is all for you. Second part is not sure. I think he meant.
Ow.
Yeah. Thank you. Not sure how. I appreciate that. You know, I'm like freaking Ron Burgundy. I'll literally read whatever you put.
I'm like your thesaurus.
I know. I appreciate it. All right. Second, not sure how good a lore lesson this would be, but I would like to hear one on the songs the bards sing throughout Tamriel. Bards are, in essence, the in-game lore masters singing the tales of Tamriel. Hope to gather the courage to talk in Discord and guild chat. Blood for the pact. P.S. If you think where Jibs is at is redneck, try living where I am in the border south of him. Just saying. All right. So, bards.
Well, I loved that one actually, and I have taken note at that because that would be a really cool lore lesson to take the songs that the bards sing in all the Elder Scrolls universe and describe what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot there, and in Greymoor coming up, you hang out in Solitude. Solitude is the home base of the Post College, so
Right.
you guys got that to look forward to as well when Greymoor hits.
Woo!
Oh my god,
That's gonna be good
But
stuff right there.
Bards are cool, man. Bards are they're revered and feared because they can build somebody up or they can break somebody down just with a song. So that's cool stuff.
Right. Very cool.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
All right,
That's
well,
good email.
yeah, absolutely. Mocha Jones, thanks so much for sending those in. And by the way, don't forget, if you want to get your emails, voicemails answered here live on the show, and sometimes by special guests, like the Loremaster, well, there you go. 765-382-6961. You can also email us, Loreseekerspodcast. .com, at gmail.com. Good Lord, listen to me.
Hear ye, Tamriel has some news.
All right. It's time for news, gentlemen. This is, this part's kind of the unusual part. Anytime you have a developer on, because you already know what's going on, Leamon. It's like, hey, I need you to comment about your comment.
Well, no, I want to get your version of the story.
You want to get our version? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just stare with those blank stares with all those thoughts of like how wrong we are.
Go on.
Please continue. Oh, that's funny stuff. All right. Well, anyway, this one coming to us from ElderScrollsOnline.com. ESO Live, February 14th, 5 p.m. EST. Housing tour and dev interview. Now, for those of you who are listening to this on release day of this episode, which is Fridays, you can look forward to this tonight. All right, they're gonna do this live on their Twitch channel, on all the streaming platforms. So YouTube, Mixer, Steam. You can stream on Steam. Is that a thing?
You can stream on everything pretty much now, but I do have a point to make on this. This is on Valentine's Day, my friends.
Oh yeah, you should not. Yeah,
Dudes, I'm just saying this to the dudes. Do not effing forget that it's Valentine's Day because your playtime will go right down the toilet if you forget.
Don't F it up. All right.
Don't F this up.
So anyway, yeah, this is gonna be happening at 5 p.m. EST. System designer Cullen Lee is gonna showcase 2 new homes. Forge Master Falls. Oh my. I look forward
It's
to
way cool.
Is it?
It's way cool. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool. And Thieves Oasis. Woo.
Also very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hideout.
I agree. And discuss the creation process. The community team is going to be bringing back the, quote, Life at Zoss series. They're going to be talking with writer Taylor, is it Sear?
Sear.
Yep. Okay. They're going to be talking about Taylor's journey to Zoss and what it's like to be a part of the content team and her most recent work. All right.
Yeah, man. She is not nervous at all, by the way, just in case you guys were, for those of you keeping
Not
track
at
at
all.
home.
Not
No,
at all.
she's one of our newer writers. She's tremendously talented. She's a really cool person. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be way cool. It's gonna be a good show.
Absolutely. Awesome. There you go. And by the way, everyone who's watching, make sure you stick around afterwards because their Australian office will be running a special charity stream to raise funds for the Australian Red Cross, supporting those affected by the bushfires. You know, we're big into charity here at Loreseekers, so please stick around, take a watch, donate some money, help for a good cause.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, Leamon, are you a big housing guy? Is that your thing?
I marvel at other people doing housing. I don't have the patience or wherewithal to deal with it. It's like when my wife and I play Sims. Like I make the little people, and then beyond that, it's like whatever happens. I'm not decorating the house, man. That's all.
And she's in there for hours decorating the house, and you're like outside just trying.
Well, it's the opposite. It's like it's like at the beginning, I'm like making the people. I'm like, oh, I think his nose isn't right, and then she's like, just make a person. It doesn't matter. And then once we're in the game, she's like, I don't know, should I use the stucco or what's the which wallpaper? And I'm like, who cares, man? Nobody cares.
Just make a house.
Yeah. So.
Do you just live vicariously through other crafters then when it comes to housing? Like,
oh, absolutely. That's once you see like what they're doing up there at the mountaintop, it's tough to like go back home.
Oh yeah.
start moving things around. It's just I'm not quite there yet.
Absolutely. You have that drive for those first 5 seconds, and then when you actually start moving things around, you're just like, no, nope, I'm out. Nope, I'm out. But,
Well, so one time, it's a weird story. I set up a house. I was really psyched about it, and my buddies play as well. And I was like, guys, you got to see it. I set up everything. It looks really, really great. And then I leave. I gave them privileges to kind of mess around in there, and I come back and they just jammed all the crafting stuff at the front door. I was like, you jerks, man. They're like, hey, we just, we wanted it to be accessible. I was like, all right, man.
we want efficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, friends. So anyway, ESO Live, you're listening right now on release day. Go watch the stream and then donate money afterwards for a good cause. All right. Next up, I got Return to Tamriel's Southern Marshlands with the Murkmire Celebration. This is coming to us from, again, ElderScrollsOnline.com. And I have a feeling, like Leamon, I know we kind of teased a little bit earlier, but I kind of feel like this is a good event for you. You're at home here.
What, the
Murkmire? Yeah, Murkmire Celebration event.
I am beyond amped. I love Murkmire. I loved working on it. I love everything that happens there. I love all the Argonian lore. That was a dream come true when we finally got to do it, man. Because it was a long time coming. We had started working on it and kind of stepped away for a minute, and then we came back, and it's really, really cool.
That's awesome. Well, everyone, you all can celebrate it and enjoy it, because going on Thursday, February 20th, it starts at 10 a.m. EST and ends Tuesday, March 3rd. That's going to give you plenty of time to enjoy the event, earn bonus rewards, event tickets, and more as you go throughout the zone.
Stop by, listen to the Vasasaddle, man. It's
the what?
It's good stuff. The Vasasaddle.
Oh, yeah.
The instrument.
That amazing instrument.
That is by far, still to this day, the most unique sounding instrument ever.
Yeah, it definitely is. I talked to Brad Derrick, our composer, and he's like, "Can you explain this thing to me again?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's easy. It's just a thing that you put a bunch of frogs in, and then it makes music. What could be easier?"
Right?
He's like, "Okay, so."
Duh, everyone knows how to play them.
Cool.
It sounds a little bit like a didgeridoo, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good
so
stuff.
Cool.
That's good stuff.
Yep. I remember the first time I pulled that thing out in a dungeon, people were like, what the F is that? Don't worry about it.
That's always one of the best parts, though. And just, being around here at Loreseekers, and we're big into taverns. We always do our shows out of taverns, the whole theme bit and all that stuff. Anyway, you go to the taverns on any new release day, and it always seems like you always find a group of players who are just hanging out at the tavern surrounding the bard. Good, bad, or worse. I mean, they're always just hanging out and enjoying themselves, so that's really cool. All right, so if you want to participate, well, here's how you do it. You must either own the Murkmire DLC game pack, or...
Which all of you should, because it's amazing.
What he said. Go buy it right now. Go buy it right now. Or have access to ESO Plus. All right? There's that too. Quick note, both the Murkmire DLC game pack and the Murkmire Collector's Edition will be on sale. Even more reason to buy it, right, Leamon?
Yep.
In the Crown Store during the event. Once you own or have access to Murkmire, you can enter the zone by either starting the main quest line from your collection's UI, or by teleporting directly to the city of Lilmoth via your map. Hey, Leamon, what's your favorite city what's your favorite area of the Murkmire expansion? Like, what's the one thing that just stands out to you?
Oh boy. Gosh, there's so much of it. Lilmoth is really, really cool. Root Whisper Village is very cool. The Naga city or whatever is really sweet. That whole area is tremendous.
I feel like we're trying to have you like pick your favorite child right now.
I know it's tough. It's impossible. There's just so many cool places and so many fun characters. Like it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So by the way, players, there's rewards. If you want to, for any MMO, any event you do, guess what? There's rewards. Well, you got them here, and they're introducing the Murkmire Strong Boxes. All right. You can earn these new reward boxes simply by exploring and questing in the zone. These strong boxes will drop after completing any of the following activities: defeating monsters or boss monsters, looting treasure chests, safe boxes, thieves' troves, Sigic portals or other containers, or even by harvesting crafting resource nodes. Leamon, are you a big crafter?
Again, I have a tough time with the patience for something like
brother,
that.
I'm right there with you.
And the other issue is that my buddy Ben is he kind of does all of that for us. So it's like he's always been that way. Like every game that we ever do, he's like, let me handle all the crafting, and then everybody's like, all right,
there you go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm the same
He's
way.
got the time.
I live through Cash with that. I Cash crafts. He's the crafter of the two of us.
Oh God, I'm a terrible crafter too. So
No.
if you're living through me, then you really suck.
No wonder I always get the wrong traits on all the gear you make me.
That I do get right. The gear I get right.
These containers house an assortment of new and returning items, including crafting materials, style items, set items, trinkets, motifs, wood and grave stake memento fragments, and voroplasm pet fragments. Yeah, buddy. That's some good stuff.
Voroplasms are awesome. Yeah.
It looks like snot, Leamon. It grosses me out.
It does. It looks like something out of an allergy commercial.
It makes
it's
exactly,
really cool. Though.
Mucinex.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like that big old piece of snot that tries to move into that lady's house.
Oh.
Yeah, the Mucinex guy.
Oh my gosh. It's so animated too. It just jiggles around. Ugh.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh. Anyway, there's bonus rewards as well. In addition to the new boxes, during the event, you can earn bonus rewards from Black Rose Prison Arena bosses.
Boom. That's where I'll be.
Yeah, we need to get into that. You know, I don't think we've ever really jumped into that very much.
You haven't.
Have you?
I've been in there a few times.
Well, I need to pop my cherry and hop in there and have some fun.
It's freaking gnarly. And I'll tell you who is responsible for the gnarly.
Who?
Somebody by the name of freaking Finn.
Oh, yeah.
We should give him an early hand flip off gesture so that he knows exactly how we feel about Black.
I will confer what you said to him tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And he'll just smile and he'll tell me to get good. That's what exactly what he'll do.
That is exactly what he'll do.
There you go. Yep. Oh man, all Murkmire daily quests, double daily quest reward crates. Whew. And then resource nodes, you get double drops from zone harvesting nodes. Quick note, to unlock all the daily quests, you must read the poster by the Lil Moth Docs titled Death Hunts and complete the quest by river en route from the Murkmire main quest line. Event tickets are back. Impresario will be back. She'll have all 4 Endrick feathers, spectral berries of bloom, budding, and growth, voroplasm pet fragments. Oh, wood grave stake memento fragments. Goodness, man. So anyway, that's the event.
I got a question for Leamon.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember how we told you before that you were going to know all the questions that we were going to ask you right off the bat?
Is that a lie?
I effing lied.
Is that what's going?
I effing lied. So just a real quick one.
All right, lay it on me.
Are there any plans that you know of that we can talk about to switch from Indrik to another type of mount eventually for these events?
I have literally no idea.
That's totally fine.
You are so talking to the wrong guy.
Totally fine. No,
yeah.
That's totally fine.
Drag Rich on the show again. He'll tell you I'm not going to tell you.
Dang it, Rich. All right. So anyway.
Sorry.
No.
Disappoint.
No.
That's fine.
You don't have to answer anything. You could just give us a middle finger and we're fine with that too.
Probably what Rich would have done.
He would have. Actually, you know what? By this point, he's been here long enough. I'm sure he would.
Yep. That's it. You didn't tell me that was going to be on the show. This is over.
Drop the call. Just walk out. Oh, love Rich. All right. So anyway, there's that about the Murkmire celebration event. Next, we have performance improvements and free pet coming with the patching overhaul.
This is the big one, folks.
This is the big one. This is the last bit of news we got for the day. This coming to us again, ElderScrollsOnline.com. Well, a lot of people have had questions, and so we're just going to set it straight and reiterate everything here to you verbatim. We don't want you to miss anything, so let's check this out. First up, what is the patching overhaul? Well, for those of you who are wondering, it's massive, all right? It's a massive part of the Update 25 base game patch. It's going to be arriving February 24th for PC and Mac and March 10th for PS4 and Xbox One. This completely overhauls how the ESO game client is downloaded, patched, and stored on local hard drives. So, what are the benefits? Well, you're going to have major improvements to the game's load time, new speeds at which assets are loaded into the world, and quite notably, this change is going to dramatically reduce the patch sizes for all future updates and will result in a major reduction of space taken up by the client on your machine's hard drive. Our console players will feel this improvement most strongly, and PC Mac players also benefit from this change. So, if you're wondering at this point, like, what do I need to do? How do I get myself set up for this? Well, all players are going to be required to re-download the game client upon the launch of Update 25, all right? That's pretty much the only part that may be kind of strenuous on some of you with your internet connections. That's it, though. Beyond that, you're good. All right, you're golden. For the most part, this should not require any additional effort after this. The ESO launcher for PC, Mac, or console will begin downloading automatically once the update goes live, so you can just let it run, okay? You shouldn't notice any other changes as well to the launcher download process, and your user settings and add-ons should remain untouched. Although, quick FYI, you may want to back them up just in case, all right? It's always good to back stuff up. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's not possible to begin the download early, just so you know, but it will begin the morning of the update's launch. So there is.
Even with all of these warnings, all the media outlets are going to be talking about all this stuff. People are going to flip their collective crap when this happens. Like, what the hell's going on with my game? It's not working.
But they're going to come out on the other end with like a way, way, way better client. So
absolutely,
it's going to be great. A little bit of pain for a whole lot of pleasure.
All day long.
Yeah,
all day. Sign me up. So anyway, we got a free pet, by the way. Is this pet good? Is this a good-looking pet, Leamon? Have you seen this pet?
Yeah, I think so. Right? Oh yeah, it's the.
I don't know.
The
You tell me.
Torchbug?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's it's Torchbug, man, and it's red.
That's a win.
Which is awesome.
That's a win.
It's something that people have been asking for a long time. It's very cool.
It's like a.
Everybody likes the Torchbug.
Yeah, man. It's like a little vampire red, little Torchbug pet. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah. So there you go. You get one of those for free. Boom. All right. Cool. Leamon?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Now's your time to shine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back on the other end here. We're going to talk to Leamon about, well,
everything.
Just about everything. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Jibs and Cash here. Real quick, before we interview the Loremaster Leamon. Total. We're excited. It's going to be a good time. But before we do that, we want to pop in here real quick, Cash, and tell them about our brand new PS4 EU chapter.
It's been a long time coming, friends, and we finally have some traction in the EU across the pond, and we have officially launched our Loreseekers PS4 European server guild. And what we have is one of our good buddies, Arab 926, who plays on PS4 North America and EU, has very graciously offered to sit in the position of temporary guild leader to help us give home to all of our friends across the pond. Now, first and foremost, thank you very much, Arab. We really do appreciate the help for helping to give all of these people home. Next, we've wanted this for a long, long time, and it's finally happened, but we still need a permanent guild leader. So if you are a Loreseeker guild member and you're playing on PS4 EU and you're interested in leading the chapter for the long haul and building the team there, let us know by sending us a message on Discord or by emailing us at loreseekerspodcast@gmail.com.
There you go, friends. Now, enjoy the interview. All right, Leamon.
Yeah.
We wouldn't mind if you came back every week, but we know you're busy, so we kind of want to pick your brain a little bit here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You're really a guy who needs no introduction, but I do have a little story to tell about our trip to Vegas.
Oh man, that's ominous.
It is ominous.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Cash.
Except for this. Except for this part. I was so freaking nervous to meet you. I honestly was like, I was flipping out when Gina and the whole invite thing came out, and hey, we'd like you to be on stage with us. And by the way, you're going to be sitting right next to Leamon Tuttle. And I was like, excuse me, what? I just about had a freaking kitten, but I got to tell you that you made it so much easier for me to like sit next to you and talk to you and have some really nice conversations that we did have about the game and life and all that stuff because you're so approachable. And I have to tell that story and how
Thanks,
nervous
man.
I was, but how very comfortable you made me feel just because your demeanor is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. No, it was such a cool, like, getting to hang out with you and all the other fans. Like, I really wish we could bring like the entire studio to something like that, because you make something and you kind of throw it over the wall and you hope people dig it, and you get some feedback online and stuff, but to like look at folks, in the face and have them tell you like all these amazing stories and get to hang out with you, and it was absolutely like one of the coolest experiences of my professional career. So thank you guys.
Oh, no problem. And we definitely saw it, at least from our perspective as fans, we saw some success in that event. So we really hope events like that continue to happen
Me too,
with
man. It was a
with the
blast.
game. Yeah, it was really awesome. Well, like I was saying, you really don't need an introduction. I mean, you're sitting at the helm. You are the lore master of Elder Scrolls Online, but you've had a really cool career. And
Yeah, I think so.
so you've been with ZeniMax for what, 9 years?
Yeah, it's gonna be 10 in September.
Wow.
They
That's
give you this really nifty like crystal cube when
Wow.
you get to 10 years. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
that's actually awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear that about a company like that where you can start like your origins or ZeniMax was as the lead QA tester. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I didn't start as a lead. I started as a QA tester, and yeah, it was awesome. The studio was a lot smaller than the QA department at that point. I think it was like maybe like 15 people or something like that, and it was so awesome to like come in at the ground floor, and then I did get promoted to lead QA, and then met all the people that for Rich Lambert was actually the Dungeons lead when I started, so I got to hang out with him a lot because I was like the Dungeons QA guy, and then I made it into content, and I was an associate content designer for a while, and then I moved from content to writing, then I became a senior writer, and then they made me the lore master, which is pretty cool.
That is like the ultimate from mailroom to CEO story. It really is. Like, so you're saying there's a chance.
Oh,
No,
that's good.
it's so cool when folks in QA get to move up. It's amazing, and we've been really tremendously fortunate. We've got a lot really really talented QA team, and we've had a bunch of people, producers, designers, all sorts of stuff come out of that department, including me. So yeah, it's really cool. They're all good folks.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So I did a little lurking. I think, well, we did a little bit of lurking. Remember I was telling you how Jibs and I were talking from early this morning about this particular interview because we were excited about it. So we did a little bit of lurking on you. We were actually took a look at your website and found that you are very well versed in all of the things you do. In most particularly, your concept art is freaking awesome.
Oh man, dude, you are doing some digging.
We did.
I forgot I even had that portfolio website.
It's
really good.
Thanks.
Oh my god, that one picture of the dwarf that you have on there.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
that is amazing.
That's a deep cut. Not many people see that stuff.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was crazy lucky because when I was, how was I doing? I guess I was transitioning from content to writing when Clockwork was spinning up. I got to do a bunch of concepts for the Clockwork Fabricants. Like I did concepts for the Fabricant Scarab and like some other stuff. And I got to kind of like part-time concept for a while, which was like really, really cool. I miss it actually. I wish I could do more of it, but obviously writing and lore mastering takes a lot of time. So,
but like to me, that's amazing that you have this amazing brain to be able to write this stuff, and at the same time, you have the visualization to be able to take what those ideas in your head that's not just writing, but to put them into actual pictures. That is,
Well, thanks, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good.
I actually got into the game industry to try to get into art.
Really?
That was where I was headed. And but I like telling stories, I guess, So,
right.
Well,
yeah, it's cool.
I'm pretty sure anywhere that you would have landed, you'd have been successful because you're pretty well-versed guy. It's pretty awesome.
Thanks, man.
So a couple questions here. Actually, we're just going to start right off the top, and they're just general questions. We really just kind of want to get to know who you are. Now, the first question that I have here is, what exactly does being the lore master for Elder Scrolls Online entail? What are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, there's a lot to it, man. I do a lot of interfacing with just about every team. So I'm talking to art about key art that's coming up, about assets that they're creating for the next release. I'm talking obviously to the writing team because that's like the team that I'm a part of. So I'm talking to them all the time. I'm talking to the content designers who are actually making the quests. I get to talk to marketing and community, like the folks in like Gina and those guys. So I'm just all over the place, basically just kind of checking things and giving suggestions about things we could pursue, or giving just I don't know things about what would work and what wouldn't work. And but I've been doing a lot of writing recently as well. So yeah, I'm all over the place. It's cool. It's cool. You just get to hang out with a bunch of different people, and always you're always working on something. So
wow.
So how much stress did you have when you were offered the position and you knew that you were going to have to fill the shoes of Lawrence?
Yeah, that was intimidating. I'm not gonna lie, because Lawrence is he's Lawrence, right?
Right.
There's not a way to describe him other than to just use his name. He's like this larger than life character, and I was really surprised that he was leaving. And Bill, my boss, took me into his office and he's like, "Look, is on his way out. I think that you do a really good job as Loremaster." And I had to like take a minute. I was like, "Dude, let me take a walk." And so I didn't respond to him immediately. I went home, and the wife and I were talking, and I was like, "Oh my God, man, what if I screw up? Like, I'm gonna, I don't want to mess that up. The lore community is really passionate about this stuff. If I'm like the guy who comes in and breaks it, like that's terrible." But my wife, she's a lot smarter than I am, and she was like, your stuff. You're a strong writer. People like your ideas. She's like, go for it. And I was like, all right, well, if you think I should go for it, let's go for it. So yeah, but it was incredibly intimidating. And that's the other thing. I mean, one of the things about the community is like, I expected when they asked me to do it and I said, yeah, I expected to get on and people to just like completely flip out and be like, "Oh my God, Schick is leaving. I'm, burning my sub and everything." And it was like, but people were so cool. They were so cool about it. And they're like, "Oh man, welcome to the, community. And we can't wait to see what you do." And it was really, really encouraging, which is absolutely what I needed at that point. Cause it's, I was smiling on the outside, but on the inside, I'm like, "Ah!" So, yeah, it's good.
That's awesome.
I can imagine. And from what we've seen, and they obviously put you in that position for a reason. And we have we have a lot of faith in ZeniMax and the decisions they make and everything. And you're killing it, man. You're
Thanks.
crushing it.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. It's not just me. There are a ton of really super talented content designers and writers, leadership and stuff. I mean, it's absolutely AAA game development is a team sport, and nobody does it alone. So, yeah, they're awesome. Our team is really, really cool.
Now, do you have a team under you that works under you?
Not really. I'm like, I don't know. It's a good question, actually. I don't know. I'm like kind of in this like churning, sort of management, I guess. My the leader of the writing team is Bill Slaps, and
Right.
he's my direct boss.
Gotcha.
And we have Jeremy Sarah, who's the content lead, who's in charge of the entire content department. And above him, obviously, there's Rich.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not really anybody's manager per
Gotcha.
se. I just kind of help out Bill, and when Bill's in Disney World, like he was recently, I was like hanging out and being Mini Bill.
There you go.
But,
Mini Bill.
Yeah. But
Oh,
no,
good.
it's cool. It's the writing team. We've got some great new talent. We have Patrick Corsi, who's new. Taylor Sear, who's going to be on Zos Live, is going to be. She's really great. So it's cool. It's a good team for sure.
That's awesome.
Nice. So if you were to kind of describe what your own personal origin story is with Elder Scrolls, with the whole series as a whole, like where did you start with the series? When did you truly realize how much you loved it?
Well, I think I told the story, the ESO Live thing. I started playing when I was in '94 when Arena came out. My buddy Ben, my family didn't have a computer, so we used to always go to my buddy Ben's house, and we played Arena there. And we poured so many hours in that game; it was ridiculous. Eventually his dad, he was like a big time gamer, he'd always like come in and like kick us off so he could play. So I played a ton of Arena with Ben, and then played all the titles that came out after that. I tried to play Daggerfall on my machine, and it melted, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm playing Daggerfall at Ben's house. So we ended up doing that, and Wind, and sunk a ton of time in Skyrim. So yeah, we got to play all the titles, and there's just so much there, and I'm not even really. This is like, but I'm not really that much of a fantasy guy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of fantasy games, but that's how strong Elder Scrolls is, man. It's that even as a fantasy title, it's so deep and so dense, and there's so much to it that's crazy and unlike anything else that you'll see in another fantasy game. Like, it blew me away, and it continues to blow me away every day. So, and it's amazing that I get to contribute to it, because I never would have thought that I would do that when I was playing Arena in Ben's basement.
Right. That's awesome. So, I mean, I know it'd be like probably picking your favorite child at this point. And I kind of get the vibe. I kind of think I know where you're going to go. So I'm not going to say where I think you're going to go, but I'm just going to guess here. What race and class are you rocking in Elder Scrolls Online?
Oh man, yeah, you'll be surprised to hear that I play an Argonian. Yeah,
Super weird.
You don't say.
It's weird, right? Yeah, my buddies when we first launched, they all wanted to go Daggerfall, so I was an orc for a good long while, and then I was like, all right, we'll forget this. I'm going to be an Argonian, because that's the way we. So.
Right. All right. Well, gee, that was short and sweet. Cool. All right, right on. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What class though?
Nightblade.
Oh, now I would have taken you more of a warden kind of guy. I don't know. It just Nightblade. Right on.
I'm big on pets. I don't have any pets.
I don't know. They just. I guess it's a weird generalization. Like when I think of a warden, I'm like, oh, they're like the ancient. I don't know. Just never mind. To me, it's just. Yeah, I'll be careful. I'll be careful. All right.
No, but an Argonian Nightblade sound, that's very Dark Brotherhood.
Man, that's shadow scales right there.
Scale.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good lore.
Makes plenty of sense to me.
If you want to get down into the RP, it's shadow scales are awesome.
Oh yeah, they are. Good stuff. All right, so Loreseekers. We've always kind of wondered in the back of our minds, especially since last year, since we've been trying to sync up and get you on here with us, and like what's a regular day for you? Like Leamon Tuttle wakes up, clocks in. All right, what is a day at Zos for the Loremaster?
That's one of the crazy questions, because it is always different. It's a lot of it has to do with where we are cycle. So basically, when you carry a chapter, for instance, like Greymoor, start to finish, at every phase of development, the writing team is doing something different. So at first, I was were first talking about Greymoor, I was working with Bill and Rich and Jeremy to come up with ideas and pitches for what we're going to do. And then once kind of the rubber hits the road, that ends up you start working on actually like writing like pitches, like the content documents and stuff with the CDs.
Right.
The CD is a content designer, so you're working with them to try to massage that out and make sure that the stories are going to be cool. Then you're actually writing for the stories, and then after that, you're fixing bugs and organizing your scripts, and then all throughout there, you're writing flavor books. And so any day during that cycle, if it's time to organize, what's going on with flavor books, I'll be doing that all day. Or if it's time to write dialogue for requests, I could be doing that. So it varies day to day, and especially with the Loremaster thing, because then you're also getting pinged by different teams about, hey, we're working on this amount. What do you think of this? Or hey, I've got a question about this new asset that we're working on. Does it fit for this culture? So on and so forth. So it's cool. I mean, that's one of the cool things about it is it's always different. So it's cool.
That's got to be refreshing too.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I've had jobs where you come in and you do the same thing every day, and then you leave, and that can be a bummer for sure. So this is way cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to managing all the lore, like how is that archived? Like this isn't in the notes, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But how is that? Like if you're
this one,
if you're like, how does this work? Do you have like?
Well, I mean, we have a ton of documentation in the studio on there's a repository called Confluence where there's tons and tons of information, and then there's kind of an internal wiki that we have all the books, we have access to those through the tool, and then there's all sorts of cool stuff that you can look at online too, like UESP and the Imperial Library and all the stuff that those guys are doing, because I mean they're really incredibly diligent. So yeah, there's no shortage of places to look and things to find. Lawrence, before the game launched, he wrote this. I mean, I don't even know it's like a codex of like all the races and recent history, ancient history. Like it's crazy. So you can get on there anytime and find stuff. And actually, that's another part of my job is trying to go back over that and like update it and stuff.
Really?
As we go along. Yeah.
Awesome.
That could be like a full-time job. Updating Confluence, man. Yes. What?
I need a copy of that.
Yeah, I'll have my people call your people.
My people will call your people.
Sorry. Stendar comes in every once in a while and says his piece. That was probably him.
Oh, that's good stuff. I always wondered though. Like how do you, how you would manage, you're talking 20 plus years of Elder Scrolls, right? So it's just
I mean, it's totally nuts. There's just so much. So it's tough to wrangle sometimes. But yeah, like I said, lots of good internal and external documentation for sure.
Yeah.
So now talking about that, the information that you have in that repository of information that you have, and in the creation of new stories with your team, how much freedom do you guys have? I know you might get like a general direction of where you're going to take a story, but how much freedom do you guys have to create new lore and under the umbrella of Bethesda? I mean, do you have much contact with them or some of the bigger lore pieces?
Yeah. So when we come up with a new pitch for well, I mean, should I just go through how that? I guess I can go through how that works. Basically, when we're coming up with a new idea, a chapter or a DLC, we'll write up a big pitch document, and gonna have all the major beats and the things that we'd like to do, and we bring that to BGS, and they take a look at it and they say, hey, this looks good. Maybe we should massage this or whatever. And then we take it back in house and we kind of noodle around with it a little bit and react to their feedback. They're really cool. They're tremendously receptive to the stuff that we're trying to do, and we do a lot of new stuff. To be honest, I mean, especially in places like Murkmire and Clockwork, we really got a lot of flexibility there, which we all really appreciate, because when you're doing something new, you want to be able to stretch a little bit. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I've always wondered that with Bethesda itself. It's like, you would have to work with those, because I would imagine that they have their own lore master there.
They I don't think they have that title, but they have people like Kurt and Bruce and Emil, who are guys who've been working on it for a long time, longer, a hell of a lot longer than I have. And those guys, that's one of the cool things about ZeniMax generally is that people stick around, right? Like they're not. This isn't like a revolving door. Like people have been working on Elder Scrolls for this entire time,
Right.
So there's a lot of guys down there that know their shit really, really, really well, and we'd be idiots not to listen to them. So,
Do you think those guys are pissed that your title's way cooler? I'm just wondering.
You trying to get me in trouble or something?
No. I'm stating facts, sir, because that is the coolest job title I've ever heard in my life.
I'm glad you like our game.
Okay. I mean, like, you think of, theoretically, don't you ever say you're leaving. But, if you were to ever leave ZOS, it's like, what's your next job? Like, what were you previously? Oh, I was a lore master.
Excuse me, what?
My brother gives me a hard time about that sometimes. It's like he's in web development, and I updated my LinkedIn when I got promoted to Loremaster, and he was like, "Dude, you better hope you never get a job outside of the game industry, because you go to an interview and it's like, so, Mr. Tuttle, I see you were a Loremaster in your previous job. Could you go on about what that's about?" So, yeah, I think I'm in the game industry for the long haul, basically.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's a really kick-ass title. All right, so got a little question here for you.
Shoot.
This is kind of off the cuff. You happen to be stuck on a desert island. It's a hypothetical question.
Oh.
You happen to be stuck on a desert island with a gaming laptop, an endless supply of electricity, and an internet connection, but you could only have one game. What game would it be?
That's tough, man. That's very tough. I would say it would have to be a game with basically like infinite replayability, right? Because you want it to be something that you could play for a long time. So I would say, I don't know. I got a few. Tetris would be a good one. Terraria would be another good one. Maybe one of the Civ games. Like Civ 5, Civ 6.
Yeah.
There's do you get updates? Can you, like, if you big game, do you get like all the DLC as it comes out?
It's a really kick-ass island.
What? 1 gig download speeds, Leamon.
Yeah, I don't know. It would probably be. I love Tetris, but it would probably be. Oh God, I don't know. Terraria would be very cool. I love Terraria.
You sure it wouldn't be Sims with like the decorating pack?
Only if my wife was on the island too,
Okay.
because I'm not dealing with that by myself.
We'll let
Oh,
your wife
man.
go on the island too.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. All right. So, you kind of, well, yeah. I think I know where you're going to go, but maybe I'll be surprised. What's your favorite story in Elder Scrolls lore? It doesn't have to be limited to ESO. Just,
Boy.
over.
Yeah,
I know, picking your favorite child. I know.
Well, no, I mean that's. I mean, if you go outside of our game and stuff, is this just specific? It's not ESO.
It's like over. 20 plus
years worth of stories.
Yeah. The hard question.
I honestly,
I don't think
I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the Dark Brotherhood quest lines, which is weird because I never play a bad guy in any other game.
You're my people.
I'm always like a super nice guy, and then like Dark Brotherhood stuff comes out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him. So that's always fun. I thought the Thieves Guild stuff is really great too. And I mean, if we're gonna go to our game, I like the Rothgar. That was a really cool one.
Yes.
Obviously, Clockwork and Murkmire
Yeah.
great.
Obviously.
It's like self-plug. No, there's too many to get at, to be honest. Like,
Well, speaking of the actual content that you've written, do you play through it after you write it?
I play through it so much when I'm doing it that it's tough sometimes to go back and like, because when you're writing a quest, you over, over, over again, because you're constantly tweaking. You're gonna change something that wasn't working or whatever. So I eventually get there. I eventually kind of take a breath, step away, and say, all right, I'm gonna play through it for real. But yeah, it is weird playing through your own stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I could imagine that would get incredibly critical on yourself. Just like, dang it, I knew I shouldn't have put that in that part of that.
That's something you just have to live with, because it's like anytime that you're making something, like you look back on it and there's gonna be something you hate about it, and that's just life, I think, in making stuff. And you got to kind of make peace with it. Most of the time, it's something that no one would ever see except for you, and nobody would ever notice it. But it's like it just pokes you in the eye every time you see it. But luckily, we've got a lot of really awesome leadership, and Bill is very diligent about reading over our stuff. And if there's something that's bad, they're gonna let you hear about it, so you can fix it before it gets out there into the wild.
All right, there you go. Well, now I want to get to the nitty gritty. There's a lot of people who are here for Greymoor chatter. Now, I know we're not going to get into spoilers. We're not going to get into. We're not also not going to be asking you anything that you already know what's coming. So, that being said, when it came to Greymoor, how did the brainstorm session regarding the focus of the next big chapter of ESO play out? Like, did you land on vampires and werewolves and dark undertones we're seeing in the teaser, like immediately, or just like how did that formulate?
Yeah, so the process for developing something like this, it starts at Rich and Matt. So they say, what are the things that we'd like to explore? Like where do we want to go? What are the themes that we'd like to mess around with? So they kind of have this like mission statement, like, okay, we want to go to kind of a scary Skyrim, right? And then they send that to Bill, and Bill writes up a bunch of pitches, and he asks for my help, and I write a few pitches, and we bounce ideas around, and then we show whatever we come up with. We have a few ideas. We show those to Jeremy, who's the content lead. We show them to Rich eventually, and they say, all right, I like this, I don't like this, can you mess around with it? So then Bill takes it back, does a lot of revisions, and then you just go back and forth until everybody's happy internally. And then once everybody feels good about an idea, then we show it to BGS, and they take a look at it. And it's another thing where they say, hey, this looks really great. We're thinking maybe we can try something to do like this. And you have another round of revisions. And eventually you land on what you're actually going to do, like the main beats, and then we send that to the zone lead. So in the case of Greymoor, the zone lead is Ed Stark. So we send, hey, this is what we'd like to do. Here's some broad beats on how we want to handle it, and then he takes it and again riffs off of it and says, all right, well, let's try it this way or that way, or let's add some of this or that. And so the document and the idea, it goes through so many revisions and so many people are looking at it. It's cool. It's this collaborative thing where everybody kind of has a piece of it, and it goes all the way. It keeps going. Like once the zone lead is done looking at it, like when Ed has an idea of how he wants things to go, he sends it to the the content designers, and then they do their own thing where they're like, okay, well, I like this, but could we take it in a slightly different direction with this character or that character?
Right.
So it's always in flux. They're always coming up with new and better ideas until at the end you got a full thing. So hopefully it's awesome.
What's the time frame look like for something like that?
Oh man,
We
It's
talked
long.
Yeah, months, 6 months.
Yeah, talk to one of the producers. It's a while. Sometimes it feels like it goes by like this, and sometimes it feels like an eternity. But I don't remember exactly how many months it is.
Yeah,
It's a while though. It's
yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I can imagine something like that would take a long time from start to finish. I mean, you're taking basically an idea and talking about it in a meeting, and put it onto a storyboard, then talking about that on a meeting, and then it just evolves.
Yeah.
From there. It's pretty impressive to see how something could go from start to finish like that and just
cool.
turn out the way it does.
Yeah.
Game. It's incredible.
It's miraculous, really. I mean,
Yeah.
that many people come together and create one thing is, I mean, you don't see that very often.
No.
You know, where everybody's work comes together and makes a cohesive whole. It's this crazy kind of miraculous thing that happens. A lot of credit to producers. They, I don't know if there are any producers listening, but they have a thankless job. They are essential to getting this all to come together. So.
Oh, you're good.
That's awesome.
You're good. Make everybody happy, and it's true. Because
yeah, I'm not telling you anything that didn't. Our content is our producer Yvonne is like force of nature. I don't know what we would do if she wasn't around. It'd be a nightmare.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big compliment.
That's good.
So we're going to shift gears here a little bit, but we're still talking Greymoor because specifically, I know there was a system that's coming out that you're definitely excited for. You know, we are definitely excited for it.
Heck yeah.
But we were wondering if we could hear about the Antiquity system from you and what it is and what exactly you feel it's going to bring to the game for us.
Yeah, so like we talked about at the reveal, it's a system with 2 mini games involved. So you have a mini game that's scrying, where you're looking for some sort of antiquity, and then you have one where you dig it all up. I scared Cash off. Just ran out of the room.
Oh man, it's all good. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. He has the bladder of a 5-year-old. Trust me. He'll be right back.
Yeah.
See, look, he's right back. So what I tell you.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, and that's how it works, Cash.
All right. Don't worry, man. Don't worry, buddy.
No,
I was hoping nobody would notice my.
I totally did.
Exit.
Totally
I had a cat meowing at my door.
Oh, gotcha.
We thought it was your
All right,
5-year-old bladder crying out.
Like meow.
So yeah, antiquities. So there's the 2 mini games, and you're looking for rare historical relics, which is really awesome. That's like, our bread and butter, right? So
yeah,
it should be really neat. I've been kind of in there at the ground floor talking about watching the actual system develop, and it's pretty wild, going from concept to actual implementation and stuff. It's really cool to watch.
Right. That's cool.
Rich is in. Hey, Rich. I see him.
There he is.
Chat feed.
Yay.
I haven't embarrassed us yet. Yeah.
Quick, someone give a request for a content update.
Everybody's asking me if I washed my hands. I didn't go pee. I had a cat at my door. God.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about the Antiquity system, and most particularly the stories that are surrounding the items.
Sure.
So these are designed to be, are they designed to be new stories, like new lore, or are we going to focus on lore that already exists within the Elder Scrolls world?
So, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, these are historical relics. So, I mean, obviously these are, we're going to be referencing a lot of existing lore, so we're going to have, Yokuden relics and Atmoran relics and Imperial relics from, a long time ago from, the First Empire, and way back, I mean, could go all the way back to kind of like Aldmeri stuff, Aliad stuff. So we're going to be trying to touch, a lot of different parts of Tamrielic history, which is really neat. But I mean, within that framework, there's room to explore new stuff, like maybe some Khajiit mythology stuff that nobody's seen before. Some weird Yokuden stuff that maybe nobody's seen before. So it's neat. I mean, it's all firmly rooted in existing lore, but you get to kind of have some jazz there too, and kind of riff off of things that maybe documented, maybe there's stuff written about it, but you never actually seen it. So I'm super psyched about it. I've seen a lot of the concepts, and tremendous, and I think people are really going to dig it for sure.
Was that in the original design docs when you were going to be like when you're getting the whole concept together for what you wanted in this chapter, or did that just kind of come along later, the whole Antiquity system?
Oh gosh, that's a question for Rich, man.
Rich, answer.
No, I mean it's a big feature for the chapter for sure.
Right.
And like I said, it's a cool opportunity to really, really dig down deep into the history of Tamriel. I think it offers a lot to a lot of different players, because I mean, for folks like me, I'm just in it for finding cool stuff. But if you're into housing, there's housing stuff.
Yeah.
If you there's the one-piece sets that you can get to actually wear around. All sorts of things you can pick up, and there's a mount, there's motifs. It's like there's something for everybody. So I think it's going to be really cool.
That's great.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I love how something's being added to the game, and it doesn't necessarily revolve so much around combat, but it really is going to help rope in other styles of play for a lot of people who like the whole action combat may not be their thing, but they can still go out and absorb all kinds of good lore. So.
Or maybe action combat is their thing. They just want to take a break.
Exactly.
Sometimes you want to go on and just have kind of a Zen activity. Just turn on some music and just chill out. So
absolutely.
It should be way cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I want to talk dungeons. So you're the lead writer of the new dungeons. Am I correct?
Of the ones that are upcoming.
Yeah, the Ice Heart and Unhallowed Grave. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ice Reach. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So. Talk to me. Can you give us an overview of the new stories we'll see?
Well, I don't want to spoil stuff.
Yeah, without spoilers.
So Ice Reach, we're hanging out with, it's Lears. You're hanging out with to fight off witches in Ice Reach.
Yeah,
working on some creepy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in Unhallowed, you're delving deep into a ruin to uncover a mystery of old bones and ash that are being hidden away there for reasons that nobody knows.
Ooh, ominous. Yeah. I like it. All right, right on.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so we're just going to kind of go right off that. As a writer of lore and ESO, do you have a favorite type of story to tell? So I'm talking like good versus evil, like an underdog story, or like overcoming some kind of life challenge, or we saw in Somerset the loss of a child that separated two lovers. So talk to me. Like, what's your favorite story that you like to produce?
I would say it's a tie. I like to write just really goofy stuff. I love writing just funny stuff.
Yeah.
So things like The Augur and Revistem Navani and Himjas, and like goofy characters who get in over their heads and suffer for it.
Right.
I love that stuff. And then the other side is on the other side of the spectrum. I like writing really kind of like deadly serious, deep philosophy stuff, like So the Seal and stuff like that, where you can really dig into some really kind of deep ideas, not just Elder Scrolls ideas, but just ideas generally. Like philosophers tend to make bad writers.
Gotcha.
But it's cool to be able to goof around with ideas that heady and weird.
Right.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Those are the two.
This is an off-the-cuff question, but how much of the Augur of the Obscure did you write?
All of it.
Oh My
Wrote that whole thing.
Nice.
okay.
Well, I mean, I wrote his dialogue. Bakudis actually did the quest implementation.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I mean, I have, when you mentioned the augur earlier, I was like, oh my God, I wonder how much of that he had a hand in, because you're going to watch chat freaking flip the F out right now, because the augur of the obscure is like one of the most loved things in this game.
Yeah, I was glad to see that. He was super fun to write.
That's cool.
Oh my God. Look at chat. Chat is blowing the hell up. You are freaking amazing. That was such good writing and so much fun. And everybody loves having that relic in their house and just hitting that thing over and just letting it talk. It is so
Thanks,
freaking
man.
funny.
I'm glad you guys dig it.
Oh, totally.
He was a blast to write. He's a really funny character.
That's good stuff.
Okay, so we've kind of hit you with all the super important questions, and now we have something a little special that we normally do when we have a very special guest on the show.
I'm psyched. Let's do it.
This is called our rapid fire round. So we're just going to feed you questions, and then the first thing that pops in your mind, you got to just kind of say what you think the answer is. So
Okay.
there's only about 10 or 12. Usually the lightning round usually goes pretty darn quick. So you up for it?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay, here we go. Some of them are yes or no. Some of them you got to answer. First question. Have you ever role played a character in a game?
Absolutely. I play D&D. That's all I do.
Oh, that's good
Oh
stuff.
my God. Could you imagine this guy as your freaking DM?
Oh, I'm not the DM. My DM is a super talented guy named Jimmy Merritt, and I do enough storytelling. I like to just play in a story when we're playing D&D. So
Absolutely.
Sounds like a freaking epic D&D group.
we just started an Underdark campaign in Breaks Day.
Oh my God.
Ooh, that's good
That's
stuff.
so awesome. All right, next question, sir. Favorite book of all time?
Oh my God. Jeez. I like a lot of books.
Hit them with all the hard questions tonight.
Books that were formative for me, I guess, the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche.
God bless you.
I love Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, Catcher in the Rye. What else? I having a brain fart. Got me on the spot.
Well, you rattled off.
You just nailed it. Yeah, you're good, man.
Okay, all right.
No idea
So
what
those,
they-
that's it. That's all of them.
Whew.
That's pretty good.
Good
Catcher in the
choices.
Rye actually is an excellent book. That one I did read.
I love that book. Breaks my heart.
Okay, you may have already answered this one on Twitter today, but we're going to have you answer it just one more time because we love elder memes and they want to know how many lean cuisines can an elder meme
I
fit
already
in his
answered this
mouth.
on Twitter. You didn't see it?
I did see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
our
I said
listeners did.
40. I said 40 and then immediately, and then Lady N put it up on Imperial Library that I said 40 lean cuisines and it's there forever.
Way to go! You made it official lore.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was like, I just immediately 40, and then like I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, that's a lot of lean cuisines. Like,
They
that's a
got big
lot.
mouths.
And yeah, I mean, I figured they like, distend their jaw or whatever, and like, but even then, 40 is a lot. I might have to revise it.
How weighty is that, though, to know that just from a Twitter post, the Imperial Library has now made that lore because you said it.
Yeah, it makes you very careful.
Choose your words wisely.
Yeah, it makes you think you should be more careful.
We were dying laughing when you answered that question, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
I love this guy. Okay, next question, sir. Favorite adult beverage?
Favorite adult beverage? Rum and Coke.
Ooh.
You watched me drink about 40 of them while we were in Vegas. So.
Oh, that's good stuff.
We got a lot. Some of these questions may or may not require a quicker response. So if you have something that you have on your mind that you want to say, then we're just going to have you say it. So next question.
Sure.
Can you give us a lat long location for Old Mary's?
I'll have to confer with my lawyer. I don't
That's not what
know.
I was going for right there.
Volkelgard? Is that? Is that what are we doing? I don't know.
I'll take it.
Well, the Altmer wrote in and they were looking for Aldmary's, so we were trying to help them locate it. But,
Oh, all right.
okay.
Well,
All right. Next question. Your favorite pastime aside from gaming?
bleh. I like to hike. I like to do art. I like to read. I like to goof around with my kids. My son and I are on a 1,000-piece puzzle right now, which is pretty intense.
Nice.
That's how intense things get at the Tuttle household.
That's good stuff. Father-son time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And like I said, I play D&D with my buddies, watch movies. Yeah.
I love it. So speaking of movies, when you're searching for something to watch on TV, you're flipping around. Every once in a while, we come to that one movie that we go, oh, not passing this one up. Usually a rerun. What movie's that for you?
I've watched Empire Strikes Back about 50,000 times.
Oh.
I've watched Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Watched about 50,000 times. Things that approach that, Big Trouble in Little China, seen a million times.
Nice.
Yeah.
Master and Commander, Far Side of the World. I watch that way too often.
Great movie.
But yeah, I think Princess Bride, that goes without saying. But I think Raiders is probably, I've seen Raiders probably.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Anybody want a peanut?
Probably know how you're going to answer this next question based off of your last one, but we're going to give it a go anyway. This is a very important question, Mr. Tuttle.
All right.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Take your time.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Take my time.
Didn't Rich say Star Trek?
Yeah, that's why he's not back on the show yet.
Dear God.
No, it's hilarious because like my friends growing up, we were all huge Star Wars fans, and my buddy Jimmy and my buddy Ben were like secret Star Trek fans. Like nobody knew, and like they were like having a secret Star Trek cabal or whatever because they thought we were gonna like kick them out of the group or something. And so then like later on, you know, when we were in this is when we were in like elementary school, and then when we got into like middle school and high school, they were like sharing with us that, oh no, we actually really like Star Trek, and I never got in. And everyone's like, oh, you got to watch DS9. And I watched like one episode and I was like, I can't hang, man. I can't hang. And another buddy of mine was really into, TNG when we were in college. And I watched like 6 episodes of that. And I don't know. I'm turning off a lot of people right now. I think there's probably a lot.
No, please continue. You're doing great. You're doing great.
This is an Elder Scrolls Online / Star Wars community, so.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I'm so yeah, long story short, yes, TLDR, I like Star Wars a lot more than Star Trek.
Awesome.
All
right. Next question. This one's very serious. Do you make your wife call you the Loremaster?
No, I don't make my wife call me anything. No, she's, it's something that it's funny. Like she's a teacher. So she tells people at work.
Oh, that's awesome.
That like she's married to the Loremaster, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about? Like that does not compute." But yeah.
That's
okay.
Awesome.
We have one more question for you, and this one's not really that big of a deal, but we just figured, rapid fire, just whatever rolls off your tongue.
Let's do it, man.
What happened to the Dwemer?
Oh.
Please go ahead. Just go ahead.
Short answer, sir.
No, I'm not at liberty to discuss anything related to that. Sorry.
All right. Looks like we got to get God Howard on the show.
Dang it, Todd. It's good stuff.
That's the
I'll let him know you asked if it's any whatever I mean.
What was that?
I'll let him know that you were interested.
Oh my God. Okay.
Awesome. Let him know. We can take interviews over the phone too. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. All right.
No, that's the end of the rapid fire round. We're not going to put you through.
Good stuff.
Hell.
You did good. You did good. Your
Thank
best
you.
your best answer was Star
10
Wars.
out of
10? So 11 out of 10. 11 out
All
of
right,
10.
sweet.
All right. So Cash has a special lore lesson, I think. Are you ready to dish this out? I don't even know what it is.
Oh yes.
Okay. Apparently, this is for you, Leamon.
Oh man.
So,
On the spot.
yeah. Well,
This is. I actually hit Lehman up earlier in the week, just asking if he had a favorite piece of lore, and he gave me a few general topics, and I had to pick at least the one topic that I think that he would have liked,
And it has something to do with our scaly friends.
Yay!
Yay! And just because it's a very special week on the Loreseekers podcast, we're so honored to have you here, and we thank you for coming. We absolutely had to do something to treat you a little bit. And I know you already know this story. Our folks might not know this story, which is why I wanted to bring you a story about our Argonian friends from Murkmire. So this week we are dedicating our lore lesson to you, the master storyteller, Loremaster Leamon Tuttle.
Sweet.
So tonight we're going to tell the story in lore lesson number 91. We still can't believe we've done 91 freaking lore lessons. We were going to keep you on for number 100, but we didn't want to wait. We're like, no, let's have him on now. Anyway, tonight we are doing a lore lesson on Red Bramman, the notorious Argonian pirate and brigadier. Now, this certain Red Bramman operated out of Black Marsh during the First Era. Now, Bramman was given the nickname Red because of some long red hair that he had, which was very uncharacteristic for the scaly race of Argonians. Now, there is some speculation that Red Bramman was actually a human because of how he was described in the book A Pocket Guide to the Empire, but he is largely known to have been an Argonian. So, operating in the area of Topol Bay, Red Bramman and his pirate crew would use the waterways to reach imperial settlements and caravans and rid them of their valuables, and then disappear into the deep marshlands of Black Marsh. Bramman and his brigands were not very easy to track, as they would venture deeper and deeper into the swamplands, further than anyone had ever attempted. Here's a little fun fact for you. Deep within the swamps of Black Marsh, where now is the site of the city of Black Rose, Red Bramman had established a very sizable bandit kingdom hidden deep within the marshlands, and it was connected to the Topol Bay by a series of waterways and winding rivers with thick mangroves, which shrouded the entry and exit from Bramman's ships, which is going to become a very important point here. Now, because of the piracy of Bramman against the Alessian Empire in Topol Bay, Red Bramman became the focus of then Empress Hestra of Cyrodiil. He was lifting a lot of things from Cyrodiil, and Hestra got super pissed.
Hestra got pissed a lot. There's a lot of Hestra got pissed off stories.
Yes, and this one in particular, she instigated an anti-piracy campaign in the First Era year 1033 and called for the head of Red Bramman. Now, the problem was Red Bramman was very, very crafty, and he would prove to be a very difficult quarry to catch because not only him, but his crew were super elusive. So the Imperials would continue their pursuit of the pirate king Red Bramman, and many, many battles would take place in the Topol Bay. But Red Bramman would always escape. And they remained, all of these battles remained largely unsuccessful for the Imperials until the Imperial Navy uncovered something that would turn the tide in their favor. They discovered to pursue Bramman, and they discovered his means of escape. And it was a narrow, winding river that emptied into the Topol Bay near the settlement of Soul Rest. Now, the entrance to this waterway was concealed by the thick mangroves and dense forest land that was there, swampland that was there, and was not easily visible. Here's another little fun fact. This particular area that Bramman was escaping to was deep in the mangroves. And little was known about the Argonian culture by the men of Cyrodiil. The native Argonians in the area of Black Marsh were very, very weary of Imperials because they had a history of raiding and enslaving the lizard race. So the Imperials made many attempts to push deeper and deeper into the marshlands to settle, especially when they were trying to fight that piracy. But the native Argonians began to fight back, and they started to get increasingly violent, fearing that more Imperials would come if they were allowed to set roots into the region. Now back to Bramman. Once the Imperials had discovered his hidden waterway and how he was able to escape so quickly, they gave chase deep into the mangroves and eventually followed Bramman and his crew onto land. Now the Imperials tracked Bramman and his brigands deep into the heart of Black Marsh, eventually cornering them in the area that is now known as Black Rose. Bramman was finally caught, and when he was caught, he was immediately executed, and his head was delivered to Empress Vestra.
Ooh.
Kind of gnarly, kind of a terrible end for such a kick-ass character with a really cool story, and I wish there was more. I truly do, because he was a really cool pirate, especially in those waterways and just being able to navigate those quickly and escape, and I love that whole story. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that Red Bramman was just a pirate. When you really think about it, he was unafraid of an encroaching foreign enemy. When the Imperials were moving in and enslaving them, he knew that was a threat. And so much so that he launched his own offensive against them and hit them where it hurt, in their pocketbook. So well known for forging behind the scenes and enemy type sabotage warfare, the Argonians chose to fight smarter than their opponent. And they continued to do this for years. So was Red Bramman in it just for the loot, or was there an ulterior motive at hand? I personally believe that aside from simple piracy for personal gain, Red Bramman and his crew were striking back at an enemy who struck first. And I applaud them for that. Another course to consider is that Tamriel as a whole during the First Era knew very little about Argonian culture because they didn't travel outside of the Black Marsh. It wasn't until the infamous raid of Red Bramman by the Imperials, and when he was tracked into the Black Marsh and the piracy was ended, that the entire world of Tamriel would come to discover and eventually love the mysterious culture of the Argonians. So I wanted to end with a little excerpt from a pocket guide to the Empire. This is the 3rd edition, and it's entitled The War with the Trees, Argonia and the Black Marsh. And it reads, the historian Brendan the Persistent writes, the Argonian people have, throughout Tamrielic history, been perhaps the most misunderstood, vilified, and reviled of all the sentient races. Yet those who have taken the time to experience Argonian culture have gained a greater appreciation for this noble and beautiful people. End quote. But it should be noted that the historian disappeared during his final expedition into the deeper swamps of Black Marsh. And that, my friend, is for you, Mr. Loremaster.
Woo!
Thank you.
Well,
I love them Argonians.
I
I
know.
think there's going to be a lot of people who give you a hard time. There's a lot of debate about Red Bramman, whether he's actually an Argonian or not.
Yeah, there is. I started to find that during my thing. I decided to go with, yeah, he's Argonian. That's not my whole deal. That's the way the lore tells it. And like, to me, like between the Imperial Library and UESP, those are my sources. Unless you say different, sir. 'Cause if you say different, then I'm like, yeah, you
No,
can.
I'm not gonna get in the. But Argonian history, is the best. Everybody should read more of it.
Why is that? Why do you feel that way?
Why do I love the Argonians so much?
Like, why do you? Yeah, like, why do you feel do you feel like they're misunderstood? Do you just feel like there's more to it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we have a lot of. I mean, when we were messing with them in Murkmire, I think that we have a lot of Western biases about what constitutes civilized life, and we got this idea that you got to build a house out of rocks, or you have to build these things that last a long time,
right?
And I think that's a fundamental misreading of what civilization is supposed to be. And Argonians, they live the way they do because they want to live.
That's-
Not afraid of a
yeah.
radical future where, you know, things disappear, things fall apart, and they face that with bravery and grace. And I think that they're super cool. They're absolutely the best. I keep saying this. I love all of our children. I do. I love them all. Love them all dearly.
Do you love the Dunmer any less because we enslaved the Argonians?
So, yes.
Well, you know, yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
I have one thing that I want to add about the Argonians, because I'm totally on the page with that, and now I'm like, play a damn Argonian. Why don't you play one? But here's one thing about the Argonians that I think the world could learn from. When an Argonian moves from Black Marsh and relocates to another area of Tamriel, they have this innate interest in the culture of where they're at and assimilating with where they are. And I think if other people took interest in other people's cultures, the entire world would be better for it. And I don't mean to get philosophical, but I love that about this lore, is they just have that innate trait. Is it even a trait? I don't know, but that is how they choose to do it. Rather than tell of their own history and where they're from, they want to learn of the history and where they're at.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible.
That's good.
And really smart writing too. It's really good.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Very responsible.
Oh, well, good lore lesson.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Fun one.
Leamon, buddy,
Yeah.
I wish this wasn't over.
Oh man, yeah, we could do this for a whole nother hour.
This has been a year in the making, and we just appreciate having you on, man. This has been a good time.
That's been a blast, man. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends. Oh, gosh, I don't want this. All right, well, for all of you who are here, thank you all so much for listening to Loreseekers. If this is your first time tuning in, don't forget, for every 5-star review that we get on iTunes, we show you some love with a shout out here on the show. And speaking of, we've got a few reviews to go through here. Doc Whiskey 13 from the United States says this podcast is the best. There are many really good podcasts for ESO, but the Loreseekers podcast stands alone at the top. Jibs and Cash deliver week in, week out. Lore, laughs, and love for the game make Loreseekers #1. Well, thank you so much, Doc. There's a lot of great shows out there,
cool.
and make sure you go and check them out. Spartan Gunner from the United States says, thank you, Cash and Jibs, so much for the work you put out every week in the show to produce such awesome content. You make my long drive to school every day so much better. I've been listening to the podcast since Volume 3 and rarely have missed an episode since. I fell in love with the Elder Scrolls watching my uncle play Oblivion and started my own adventure with Skyrim. That's so cool. I have been playing ESO on and off since release and more consistently since elsewhere. I have so much love for you guys and can't wait to join the PS4 NA Guild when I turn 18 in a little over a month. You guys are the epitome of what makes this community so great. And again, thank you. Well, thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget, you can always call us 765-382-6961. Email us loreseekerspodcast@gmail.com. And of course, our physical address is P.O. Box 3665, Terre Haute, Indiana, 47803. If you're looking to join this community, maybe you want to be a part of the brand spanking new PS4 EU Guild. That's a thing now. You can visit loreseekerspodcast.com/guild, download Discord, join our Discord server, and apply by typing /apply in the Apply to Guild channel, which, by the way, Leamon's a part of the community now.
I am, yeah.
Yes.
It's been fun watching you navigate Discord.
Yeah. I was telling Cash that I accidentally wandered into the goat channel.
Oh, that's bad.
And then I was there for like a second, and then I just Homer Simpsoned into the bushes. I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
That's like our family-friendly version of a Reddit channel. It's pretty much what that is.
That's exactly why our Goat Post channel got its own dang channel, because it was getting nuts. And we're like, you just have your own channel. For some reason, goats and lore seekers, they call them lore goats. That is just the thing now.
It is a thing. That's
Well,
for
whatever's happening, I'm sure everybody's having a great time.
Look at all the goats.
Oh, that's good stuff. Special thanks to Family Jewels and Sword Coast Soundscapes on YouTube for the intro and ambience. And don't forget, you can find this show wherever podcasts are free. Nothing's charged, not a single coin. We take any of that. Visit our official podcast, our official website, loreseekerspodcast.com. Cash?
So, Liam, we want to give you a chance to plug your Twitter so people know exactly where to find you and your witty comment.
Man. Okay, yeah, I've got a Twitter. It's at Tuttle_power. If you want to hear about beekeeping and D&D and stuff that's going on with the game, I guess you could follow me. It's exciting. I make, talk to these guys, talk to other fans. So, yeah, fun stuff.
He does. Leamon will pop in on other people's comments and stuff, and you should watch people just flip the F out when he pops in. Like, whoa! It's pretty cool to watch, actually.
It's awesome.
As for Jibs and I, you can find Jibs on Twitter at JibsIRL. You can find myself at LoreseekerCash. The cash is with a K, but don't forget to follow the show. We're on Twitter at LoreseekersCast, on Instagram at Loreseekers, on YouTube at Loreseekers, and right here at our home on Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreseekers podcast.
Friends, we hope you have a wonderful week in gaming. Be kind to someone. Show them that special ESO fam love. Buy them coffee. Do something. But anyway, Leamon, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
It's been really great, man. Thanks. And thanks to everybody who tuned in. Yeah, it's really great. The game wouldn't exist without you guys. So, yeah, thank you. And, see you in Tamriel.
It's fantastic. See you next week.
Sir. Safe travels, friends.
See ya.